Patrick Miller, welcome to Back to Byker.
Thank you.
Finally, we've been
Finally, I know, yeah.
You, of course, played Akili Johnson, youth leader from 2000 to 2006.
Yeah.
Before we talk about Byker, I'm really interested to know about your acting career before Byker, because we didn't really talk about it back then, did we?
No, and it was the weird thing for me on that show, because for me it was like coming home. But because I was playing a Southerner, there were several layers to it. In that, one was I was kind of sort of having to do an accent, slightly more Southern accent than I naturally have, and B, I knew Newcastle really well. I'd kind of done my first theatre job there. I was trying to look it up. I did my first TV appearance on a thing called Tell Me Why on Tying Tees when I was like 14 as well.
Okay.
So there was all of this connection. So for me, it was like coming home. And especially the weirdest thing, I mean, we kind of touched on the first couple of days shooting, but sitting in one of the main rooms at the Mitre, the Grove, and I looked up and I'm thinking, this looks really familiar. And pennies started to drop because I recognized the ceiling of the Mitre.
Okay.
My sister went to the school, what was the school for the blind. You know the old people's home down at the bottom of the drive? That used to be a school for the blind. And my sister used to go there.
Right.
And they had a party in the Mitre. And I was a kid, I was fairly young, must have been 8 or something like that.
Yeah.
But just all the bits dropped. Benwell Dean School, this building. And it was like coming home. It was really weird.
I did not know
really
that.
odd, yeah.
Oh. So when did you first realise that you wanted to be an actor?
Okay, I was quite an ill kid. And I was what they called in the 60s, 70s, a blue baby, in that I had a problem with my heart.
Right.
Several valves blocked and a hole. And again, linked with Newcastle, I spent a lot of time going backwards and forwards as a kid until I had my operation when I was 7. But up until that point, I was quite kind of, I suppose, what they called backwards. I didn't develop very well. And the only thing I was kind of vaguely did, because I physically couldn't do a lot, were art projects and things. When I eventually went to a proper school, junior school, a company called the Cleveland Theatre Company brought a production of The Langton Worm, which is a famous Northeast tale.
There's a song as well.
Yeah, yes, and I'm not going to sing it. No. But they brought a production of that, and it was brilliant. And then they did a workshop, and they said, "You look like you were really having a good time doing that." And I did. I was having a ball. And they said, "You should go and join your local drama club, youth club, or whatever." And I joined the Downton Youth Club, or did a summer project. That's right, I did the summer school at the age of 9, and I've not really looked back since. I had amazing support from our local council in that they recognised something that meant that if I needed, for example, to go to National Youth Theatre, which I did 2 years of when I was my early mid-teens, they helped fund that back in the days when there was council funding. And then also with drama school. So I got into Bristol, which is the one I wanted to, and that was funded as well. And sadly I can't remember his name, Kevin Graham, I think his name might have been, but he was amazing. Just said to my mum, we are happy to support this kid because he obviously has something. And I was in the local press and all that kind of stuff. And going to drama school and various bits and pieces. So it's something I'd always been passionate about. And yeah, Newcastle was just kind of part of that story in a lot of ways. And I had my big surgery at Shortley Bridge, just outside Newcastle. I had to go there at least twice a year to see the doctors at the General. Yeah, spent a lot of time there.
Yeah. It was the turn of the millennium. Time for some new blood at the Grove. Jeff did, of course, sadly get killed off, but that meant the Johnsons were coming in. Jeff, to a lot of people, was Byker Grove.
Absolutely.
And that's a pretty daunting task. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, it was. And Billy, who played Jeff, I think was extraordinary because you're right, he was very much the heart and soul of that show. not just in terms of what is the job that he did, but the character they brought to it and the fun and all that kind of stuff. And he could do both. And my only thing was, we knew that they wanted to kind of slightly change the feel of the show, but also that there was no point in me trying to compete with that.
Yeah.
And Akili brought his own set of problems as well.
Yes.
Not only just coming into this, what felt like a bit of a hostile environment, because he was meant to be a complete stranger from.
We gave you a hard time.
Yeah, literally. That first day when I had to do the big speech in front of everybody was, no acting involved whatsoever.
But I must say, after that initial welcoming that we gave you, it sort of did just pick up pretty quickly.
Really quickly. There was no kind of residual. I mean, partly because it was intense, what we were trying to film, but also, the bond started really quickly.
Yeah.
Lynn Wilmot, that played Tina, we just locked in. You probably don't know this, but my wife was an old friend of Annie's.
Right.
Who played your on-screen mum. So there were lots of links there. So we bonded very quickly. You're right. It did happen really quickly. I think the kids, Patrice and Rory, bedded in quite quickly as well. Yeah.
What do you think Akili brought to the table that Jeff didn't have?
Apart from his own kids.
Yeah.
I think there was a bit of a seriousness. I think he might have taken himself a bit seriously as well, but I think he loved what he did and he really did care about the kids.
I actually think that the kids found it easier to approach Akili.
Yeah.
Eventually.
And I think there was this kind of warmth between everybody, and I think unless you got the famous My Office Now.
Yes.
Which I think you did.
Oh,
but then you ended up being management as well, didn't you?
I did.
As Ben.
I went for the job, didn't I?
Yeah.
Dom. He got the job. I was going to ask you, how many times do you think you said that line? A lot.
Yeah. I think that was the thing. Yeah, there was a kind of different softness to Akili, and I think it was partly because he was a dad who was the family that were going through their own problems as well, because obviously they were growing up, and we never really did a proper Bible, or at least I never really saw a proper Bible until quite a way in. So in my head, he was kind of had a military background, but he decided to go into kind of this youth work and could be serious when he wanted to be, but actually was there because he cared.
Yeah.
And I think the link with our characters, and I don't think I can really say what happened with them, but he was directly impacted by your character's exit, by Ben's exit.
I've only seen that just recently.
Yeah. And I think that episode is extraordinary.
Fantastic.
It's brilliantly filmed.
Harrowing.
Yeah. And just from beginning to end, that whole storyline, I was really proud of it.
Yeah, and I thought the stuff, the Bill storyline as well, the Joe Caffrey.
Yeah.
I thought it was just fantastic. And I do think that was, am I right in thinking that was a bit of a turning point from the high drama? Was that the last we saw of it, or was there more?
I think you're right. I think that was the end of the really good juicy stuff, and we literally did births, marriages, death, me giving Therese away for at her wedding. Well, nearly. So we literally had it all. Yeah, we had the child, parent, and stuff like that. And then I know that there was a kind of definite shift. And it's arguable as to whether it was wise or not. In my heart of hearts, I still think if we'd stayed true to what I went into, we'd still be on.
Yeah.
And I think if we'd done the opposite of what we were asked to do, which was gone up a few ages, we'd have been competing with Hollyoaks.
Yes, that's true.
Although that would have been weird because we both done that.
Yes. Was there any particular storyline that you enjoyed doing?
I like the trips. They're always fun. There was a rescue one that we did where it was literally having to do sort of mini stunts and kind of getting into water and rescuing kids and things like that. I think for me, the aftermath of your storyline
Yeah.
and the route that Akili went down lasted for quite a long time.
That was nice because that was sort of like your own little journey, wasn't it?
And how it impacted his family and everybody else, and the fact that the Grovers found him in the condition that they did. So I'm sure how much they cared about him as well.
Yeah.
Others, one of my other favourites was when he got a new girlfriend.
Oh, right.
And who happened to be, I have to get this right, is it Hazel's mum?
Okay.
So there was all of that friction between the two girls who were already friends.
Right.
But then their parents got together.
Okay.
And they caught them kissing.
Oh.
And then they caught them in bed. And
no.
It was very, very funny. Very, very funny. So these kids...
Akili had a screen kiss.
I did, yeah. Guess where?
The Office?
Uh-huh.
You completely Byker Grove there.
Yeah.
Didn't know. They do say never work with children and animals. How did you find working with teenagers?
Right, there's a weird one to that because I do panto, so and had been doing up until that point anyway at Bristol. So I'd always worked with children, young people. So it wasn't that big a deal, really. I actually quite liked it. I love the fact that the majority of you came and you really wanted to do it. I like
if
that.
we were doing one-on-one back then, I would be on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I was with the boys,
it would be a different feel. Yeah. No, that's true. But I also think it must have been huge for you guys. You couldn't go anywhere, do anything without potentially kind of being talked about and things like that. But no, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed working with everybody and kind of doing a bit of mentoring as well. You know, it was part of one of the good things of getting up in the morning and those horrible early mornings and stuff. It's actually getting to work with really lovely people. Yeah. The weird thing is, I then pretty much when the show finished, I kind of ended up working with young people at the Hackney Empire.
Oh, right.
Doing as a sort of drama coach. So I kind of walked straight out of that into another thing, but kind of eased into that. Yeah. So every summer I would do a summer project with young people, which goes back to something I used to do way back when I was younger.
Right. How did they? I assume they gave you a heads up that the show was going to be finishing.
Yeah, that the year it did. Yeah. There wasn't
not on the day.
Not on the day.
Right.
No,
okay.
No.
Right.
No.
Okay.
No.
Were you surprised?
Part to me wasn't surprised because of the way that things had been developed. I was really sad. Yeah. Because it was a terrific piece of work, and it's one of those things you mentioned that you were in it or that you have an association with it, and people go, "Oh my God," because people loved it. Yeah. And I think there was a local pride in it, but also it's a bit of a cliche, but not being able to go for a hospital appointment without somebody going, "You're in that." Yes. And literally calling you by name, which I know must happen to you. It was really sad because I think it shouldn't have happened really in the way that it did. Yeah. On quite a few levels.
How did you feel about the ending?
Yeah. Less said the better.
It was an ending.
Yeah, it was an ending. I mean, it was lovely to see everybody and for all of that kind of history to be there where it was possible. But it didn't feel completely right. Yeah. I suppose the one benefit of it is it was kind of a bit like Bobby coming out to the shower. It could be just a dream and it just all starts again if they really wanted to. But yeah. And I remember when they called rap on that last episode, everybody was just in bits because it was like breaking a family up. Yeah.
That must have been a sad day.
Yeah, it was really. D Wood and I had this massive hug, and we didn't realize that the press were there, and they took a picture of it, and luckily they got D signed because that was bloody. Yeah, I think it was in the Chronicle or something like that. There's faces, loads of tears and stuff.
I did feel for the the cast, especially the younger cast, who just got a part on the show. That must have been really rough on them. But you, of course, were a seasoned actor who would be used to finishing on jobs. So was it straight into auditions for you?
I don't remember what happened. Yes, I guess I kind of did essentially go back into being a jobbing actor, but then also developed.
Did you stay in the Northeast?
No. I mean, I've always been London-based since I became a pro, so that's been about nudging 40 odd years now. I do get back up when I can to see family and friends and stuff, and occasionally some of the cast and crew. Saw them in Britain relatively recently, and then Kath Healy had a big birthday last year, so it was nice to see a lot of the old faces there, and some people who I'd not met before, which is that's really loving. We've stayed in touch via the old Facebook and things.
I do find that even if you didn't work with someone from the cast, you still sort of have a bit of a connection with them because they know what it's like to have been on the show, which is lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what other jobs did you do after Byker?
So I'm trying to think. Stints on things like Waterloo Road. I've mentioned Hollyoaks. I was Father Des on that for about a year, on and off. That was fun. Hard work again. Not unlike the Grove, and it was a big turnaround. I thought Waterloo Road was really like that, and actually we had some of the crew.
Oh, really?
Nice. We were on it as well, so that was really, really cool.
Even though it was a kid's show, I must say, like, I do feel like when I've worked on Byker and then gone on to other jobs, I know what I'm doing when I'm on set now. It definitely set me up for it.
No, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah, I bet. And in fact, when I did the Hollyoaks, Tim Leandro, who was one of our regular directors, was on the same block as me. But hello, mate, how you doing? So you realise how small a world it is, as you discovered. We've got a weird family connection, which is bizarre. So yeah, there was that. Probably more episodes of The Bill. What else? I suppose, bits in Netflix films. Where are we? And then there's this year's the Marvel.
Yes.
Literally tiny part in that, but such a good thing to do.
But you can do conventions now.
Well, I'm not sure if you don't wear a cape, does that count?
Oh, absolutely. They don't care as long as you've been in it. Yeah.
Oh well, that.
It was the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you get to work with any of the big names?
So yes, I worked with Sue Storm, that's it, Vanessa, and Sarah Niles, who played her assistant, who I tormented in that. Weirdly, I'd worked with her, tormenting her in Richie's that she starred in a few years beforehand.
Okay.
That was the series about the...
On ITV?
ITVX, yeah, which is where we are, weirdly enough, so that was, again, fun to do, just tormenting somebody. And it was just a really weird coincidence that she happened, because you don't know who you're going to be working with.
Yeah.
On these shows, you don't even really get a script. So it's not until I think we were on the flight out that I realised I was working with Sarah again.
Right.
And actually, even then, I didn't know which role she was going to be playing until we saw the actual sides. That's the last, I think, big telly.
But you do a lot of theatre as well, don't you?
I have done in the past, yeah.
Which do you prefer?
These days, because I'm getting old and creaky, I prefer the film and TV.
Yeah. Nice little trailer.
Yeah, a bit of a trailer. It's comfortable. You go and do your bit. You get to spend time with lovely people, and then you go home again. I think the last proper theatre tour I did was a tour of Hamlet.
Okay.
That's a while ago now, but that was fun but grueling.
Yeah, I bet.
And I've done that twice.
Right.
Toured it twice for completely different companies. So with theatre now, I'm quite hard about it. Also because it takes you away from your family if you're touring and things like that. And obviously because of the injuries from when I was ill and things like that, I have to again sort of think quite carefully about what I accept and what I can and don't do.
Yeah. Unless the money's right.
It's what I call a sanity clause. Yeah, good reason to get up in the morning. Yeah.
Going back to Byker,
Mhm.
what memories stand out for you in particular?
Oh,
Arriving must be.
yeah. So that was huge. Yeah. And you're right, that whole shift suddenly from kind of like feeling very real to becoming something else. The problem is there are so many.
Yeah.
You
were there for a long time.
Yeah, pretty much did half of it. But yeah, the big sort of set pieces were always good fun.
General room scenes were grueling, weren't
Oh
they?
my God, yeah. If you had to do a day in a general room. Although Therese's wedding was a whole day as well. That was a long day. But yeah, the general room scenes were tricky, and sometimes if you had to do a scene where you were using the whole of the outside of the Grove or the mitre, that could be tricky because you had to remember where you were and all that kind of stuff. And that was the other interesting thing for me, because I don't think people realise, even though so young people having fun, there still had to be a level of discipline there.
Yeah.
And it was something that I did notice happen from when I started to when we finished, was that changed a bit.
Okay.
I think people, I don't know if it was because we're bringing people in that were just more, I don't know, wanted to do it more or whatever. But like you said, people were having fun. But when it came down to it, when you knew you had to bring it, you did.
Yeah.
And I saw that with everybody. And Adam used to have the mickey taken out of him because he did take himself very seriously.
Oh, he did. Adam, who played Matt.
Yeah. But it's paid off because he's doing very well now. Thank you very much. Yeah.
He's very good. Even when I've watched stuff back.
Yeah.
Everyone was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen him a couple of times in the theatre as well. So and he's, as you say, everybody was, I think. And I think what's been lovely is that regardless of whether people stayed in the industry or not, and quite a few have, which is fantastic, so many people are going to do really good things. I think the show, for many, and I'm not going to generalize, but the impression I get is that the show was kind of really good grounding for people. Yeah. Working with other people, having to sort of get on, discipline, all of those things. And it's interesting to see what people went on to do and the fact that they applied themselves. Yeah. It's brilliant to see. Yeah. Even if they haven't gone on to work in TV, they still have that strong work ethic. Yeah. That we learned from back then. Yeah. And I could literally, hundreds nearly of people that I could say have done that.
I will never be late for anything. I might have been back then, but I learned not to be. If you could have played any of the kid actors, who would you have been? Ooh. I know. You can't say Ben.
And I guess I can't say Paul either, because he was my son. That wouldn't. What I've done, Ben. Would have had to have been somebody that was fun.
I think I know who you're going to say.
See, knowing myself at that age, it would have probably been like a Stumpy or something like that. Yeah, Paul's character. Because even though I did sort of take myself quite serious, I was into my comedy and stuff like that. And there was just something about the way Paul played that I really liked.
Effortless.
Yeah, effortless. Yeah.
Almost like a Macaulay Culkin quality.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you didn't have to ask him twice. He was just on it. And what was great about him is he could do the comedy very naturally, but also the pathos and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I watched a scene recently with him and Regina. Oh, it was so moving. Yeah. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
I think that's the beauty of the show as well. You could go from complete lunacy to the most serious, heartbreaking stuff within an episode. And it's amazing. You don't often see that these days within a show.
Yeah. Can you believe that we're still talking about Byker Grove today?
No. No. you don't like to mention things like cultural impact, but I think it did have a big impact. Obviously not just for us that were involved in it, but I think the people that saw it, you mention it to people of a certain age and they go, oh my God. And even people who are a bit older, people who are embarrassed to admit that they watched what they thought was a kid's show, they remember everything about it. And I think it was because it was good, solid drama. Stories that were well told. And I think that's why we're still talking about it. In the same way that, to be fair, Grange Hill is still spoken about. My wife, Lucy, was in a show called Children's Ward.
Oh, yes.
Which you may or may not remember.
Russell T Davies wrote for that.
Originally, yeah. And I think that was kind of like the little sister of our shows, really, because it obviously was Manchester-based, I believe. You mentioned it, and people don't have quite the same reaction as Byker or Grange Hill. And I guess if it was now or back in the Britpop times, we would have been the Oasis.
And the Blur.
Yes. The telly world, wouldn't we? And knowing now, they would have probably tried to get the two together.
Yeah.
Because they were both BBC shows, it would have been perfectly possible.
I can't believe they didn't do that. That would have been
It's
great.
mad now you think about it.
Yeah. Great. Yeah, missed the trick there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Byker's now streaming on ITVX.
Yes. Every single episode.
Yeah. So do you think a new audience, do you think the younger generation will have a look, or do you think it's just there for nostalgia purposes for the people who watched it?
I think firstly it will be nostalgia.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I think the stories hold up. And I think there is still enough legendary moments in there that have kind of rung through the time. Stuff like the PJ and Duncan stuff, some of your stuff.
Some people won't have seen that.
No, but they'll have talked about it.
Yeah.
Gay kisses, that's all that sort of stuff that they kind of rings in their ears a bit. They'll finally have a chance to actually go and see where it comes from. And I think it does hold up.
Yeah.
It really does hold up.
This has been lovely, Patrick.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much. We just went back to Byker.